I would like to welcome everyone to National Car Wash Solutions Fall Trade Show webinar. My name is Laura Edgewan, National Car Wash Solutions Marketing Manager. We are glad you could all join us today. On my right, you can see today's schedule of topics. Please use the chat functionality to type in your questions so we can respond to them. We hope you enjoy today's topics.
Right out of college, I didn't want to get the typical 9-to-5 job. So what I did is I was just working on the skills I had. I was waiting tables and detailing cars. And then the opportunity presented itself for me to take over a failing self-serve. It was a 10-bay spray bay with 2 automatics with paid vacuums. So I saw it as an opportunity to get in to a larger business that has a relatively high barrier to entry at basically no cost. The opportunity itself to most people was highly unattractive. Not a lot of people want to start their first business in a loss or take over something that needs major renovations or repairs. I was there pretty much from sun up to sundown for the first couple months, just learning and expecting things to just go wrong and break. Since the business was failing and there wasn't much there, it was kind of getting handed like a clunker and trying to turn it into a Ferrari. It was a difficult process, and I got it working well. Just like if you put time into an older vehicle, you can get it running right, but it's still an older car at the end of the day. I could only handle one car at a time in each bay, which with where the location was at, was not appropriately handling the traffic and the demand for a car wash. I joined Talk Car Wash. I had a lot of different people that I networked with, and I started educating myself on what I could do to increase revenue. The whole purpose of Talk Car Wash is to create an operator-focused community that makes everyone's washes better. So instead of there being a bunch of secret information out there, it's like the latest and greatest of what people are kind of trying, and then we're all able to collaborate. So then I started journeying into, hey, what if I knocked down this whole building and I built the best car wash? Although I had owned a self-serve before, expresses are a whole nother animal. The financing was not an easy feat. So being at the time I was just 25 years old, it was rather difficult to convince the people I was involved with to do this thing. So I reverse engineered it. I did a feasibility study. I did a traffic survey of the surrounding streets. I had multiple pro formas. I had multiple industry experts that kind of validified our actual idea. And then at the end of the day, the model, the plans, all of it had a very strong evaluation. So that showed the bank that, hey, this isn't just a crazy idea, that it actually has a value. I don't think any operator can be too prepared to start a car wash. So instead of just jumping into it, just buying something out of the magazine or acquiring some other car wash, I wanted to start it from scratch. So that means I had to learn everything. And I think that is one of the best things an operator can do, is try to learn all the different departments of the car wash versus just focusing on getting it open or getting someone to do all the work for you. The more you know for yourself, that empowers you to be more successful sooner. So our first 3 days of operation, we were doing free car washes, and we washed over 2,500 cars with no experience. So every one of my staff had never washed cars before. I had only washed cars in the self-serve environment, and we were just kind of gung-ho and eager to learn. And so when we're on site, everyone is kind of like-minded and all about getting better and improving, and that really starts with their personal life. So with full-time people, I don't like to overwork them. I like to have a great quality of life balance and to really just provide a place that they want to go to. So when we first opened, we actually had trouble getting people to clock out. Just because we created such a fun and impactful environment, they felt like they were actually making a difference in the business because they were. Over my travels, the biggest thing I noticed was that although maybe the car washes were successful, there wasn't an external focus on the experience or the way they were making people feel. Since we're experience first, car wash second, everything they come in contact with is branded, it's a part of the theme. There's an attention to detail, whether it's the lava rock or the shape of the panels on the building or the black tunnel environment with the lighting. We're doing everything we can to give them an experience they've never had before and that they want to come back and have other people experience it with them. The tunnel is 135 feet long. We have more equipment than the typical car wash for that length. We also have 21 free vacuum spots with 42 crevice tools, so we have a tool on each side of the vehicle. We have 2 50 horsepower turbines in our vacuum area, and then we also have 3 kiosk lanes. All 3 lanes have license plate recognition. 1 lane has RFID. In the first 6 months, we've washed 65,000 cars. We have had over 1,600 active unlimited members. We have over 5,600 app downloads with over 85% of people using the application once downloading. A lot of people see it now in its form and they're like, how could anybody doubt what this has become? It's such a success. You're washing so many cars. You have 1,000 car days. Instead of taking that doubt and those no's as an original failure, I just kept pushing through to keep making the idea and the tunnel and the experience it better so that it couldn't get told no. I think success at the wash is just having happy people and happy customers and people leaving with clean, shiny, dry cars. I think it's rather simplified. I have intentions of launching a global brand. We want to be able to go into any market in any town and be able to serve that community with excellence. So with our systems and processes and routine way of doing business, we believe that we can consistently offer a world-class car wash experience.
My name's Justin Reed. Welcome to the Shine Shop Car Wash Tour. I got into the car washing business back in November of last year. Never had any experience or background in car washes, but it was always something that was interesting to me. The technology side was real interesting too. My background was in technology and the management side of the business itself. The Shine Shop equipment and technology that we have in place now is top of the line. What customers like about the Shine Shop is the great customer experience and the ability to get through the wash quickly. When customers first pull up to our site, they'll see our signage and branding, which we're very proud of. Here at the Shine Shop, we thought marketing was very important, so we partnered with Suds to create our marketing strategy to help drive customer loyalty and wash counts. So as customers pull up to the pay stations, the first thing they'll see is our digital signs, which are a welcoming message for them to be able to see what packages we offer, as well as additional messaging that we can provide for holidays and different events that are going on. We went with 3 different packages. To align with our branding, we named them Shiny, Snazzy, and Swanky. We felt the naming conventions would help us stand out with competition. They're able to select from single washes or unlimited packages. For our unlimited packages, we use an RFID technology, which the customers are then able to quickly access the wash with their ID tags installed inside their windshields. As the customers pull around to the entrance of the wash, we've got employees in there to help guide them onto our conveyor belt. Once on there, we have them put their vehicle in neutral. We use the optional spray guns to prep their vehicle if needed, and then we send them on their way down the tunnel for the rest of their wash. As customers go through the tunnel, they'll get to experience each of our FX arches through each phase of the wash, including light shows, chemical applications, which is a great experience for young and old. As customers are exiting the tunnel, they're going through our dryers and leaving with a clean, shiny, dry vehicle. So not only do we want customers to have an enjoyable experience going through the wash, they also need to have a clean car coming out. Our McNeil equipment is top of the line and provides an excellent finish to their vehicle. Several of our customers have said the Shine Shop is the best car wash in town. To clean the inside of the car, customers can use our free vacuums before or after the wash. We've got 2 digital menus which were provided by TSS, which allow us to easily show the customers our menu on a digital screen. We have canopies over our payment stations, which were also provided by TSS. Those provide shade from the sun and light when it's dark. We use DRB systems for our activation and RFID technology. Here at the Shine Shop, we use McNeil equipment. Let's give you a quick tour of our tunnel. First, the McNeil conveyor, which is a rear wheel push conveyor. Next, we've got our first set of CTAs, which are chemical tire applicators. Following that, our wheel boss, which is used to scrub the wheels and tires. Up above, we've got our first top brush, which helps get the front and top of the vehicle. Next are our high pressure sprayers, which help get the lower sections of the vehicle by knocking off all of the heavy dirt. Next is our second set of CTAs, which is another tire chemical application. Now we've got our 3 sets of brushes. Our first set is our rockers, which help get the lower section of vehicles. Next, we've got our van highs, which are for the higher vehicles. And third, we've got our wraparounds, which help get all sides of the vehicle, including the front and rear. We've got our high pressure rinse, which helps rinse off the vehicle before it goes to our next chemical applications. Our second top brush, which is used to help get the top and the rear of the vehicle. We then have our Gloss Boss, which helps apply a shine to the tires before they exit. Above the Gloss Boss, we've got 10 producers with power locks. Here at the Shine Shop, our VacuTech vacuum system has 17 stalls. Here in the back room of the Shine Shop, we use the Clean Touch Clean Fill management system with a HydroFlex panel for chemical injection. We also have a DRB tunnel control system. For RO, we have a Velocity system. And for reclaim, we use pure water. Our partnership with NCS here at the Shine Shop has been great. From installation to operations, they've been a great asset to us, helping us get up to speed with how the equipment works, as well as how to operate the facility.
I'm Jason Patel, I'm the owner of Aberdeen Car Wash. I have owned Aberdeen Car Wash for close to 10 years. The place was built in 1960. When we first took over the car wash, it needed work. It needed some love, some TLC. So in the past 10 years, we've put a lot of investment towards the chemicals, the equipment, the lighting, a lot of the backroom equipment such as the pumps, solenoids, electrical systems. Our car wash is a full-service car wash and detail center. We chose McNeil equipment because of reliability and also because we heard from other car wash owners that it's extremely reliable equipment, and that's what we were looking for. We didn't want to purchase equipment that needed constant attention. There's a lot of moving parts in the car wash industry, so on busy days we wanted to capitalize and not lose cars, essentially. So we invested in McNeil equipment such as their top brushes, their side brushes, their conveyor. They've been incredible. I find McNeil equipment easy to maintain because they have a lot of tutorials and a lot of references on their YouTube channel. And there's a lot of resources available directly from NCS and McNeil, which helped me maintain my facility without downtime. I found out about Clean Touch through Mass Solutions. We switched over to their chemicals, and we also took advantage of the Arch promotion. It's been nothing short of incredible. After February, coronavirus hit. So before we were driving in the cars for our customers, so they weren't actually sitting through the tunnel. However, with some changes, we now allow customers to sit through with the tunnel. Our customer reaction for the lights has been awesome. I've had customers who I meet around town and they tell me that they call their wife or their husband and they say, bring the kids back and just go get the car wash, please, because of the lights. Since we switched over to Clean Touch Chemicals, I've gotten tons of positive feedback from our customers. They notice a difference in the shine and finish. Ceramic glaze is really popular because it adds a hydrophobic coating and tons of depth, clarity, and gloss to our customer vehicles. The customer experience is important because you can give the customer a really good show and a quality finish at the end.
Our wash is a state-of-the-art, fully automated express exterior car wash with a full-service aftercare and detailing center, which adds that human care and human touch for our customers. After a lot of research, we did get a few pointers from friends and people in the business, and a lot of recommendations came for McNeil equipment. And based on our own research, we realized that they seem to be one of the best equipment manufacturers out there. The factors that were most important to us when selecting the equipment were support, design of equipment, longevity, ease of use, and maintenance.
The Clean Touch FX program and all the different services we have definitely increased our average ticket. Processes like ceramic have made it easy for customers to understand exactly what they're getting. They see the advertising when they come in. They ask about it, they take interest, and they want to learn more. A lot of new customers come from other car washes and tell us we can't believe how clean, how dry the car is coming out, and that's due to the chemistry and the products we're using. Customers love going through the tunnel. They love coming out with a clean car. They love seeing exactly what they're getting as they're going through, and that's because of our FX arches. Customers have given us awesome feedback on the visual show, especially people with younger children or anyone who goes through. There's a lot of colors and lights.
Our experience with NCS has been great since day one. They've shown nothing but support. They've held our hand through an entire process. They knew we were new to the business, and they knew we needed all the support that we can get. Other than equipment, NCS has helped us in many different ways, just offering their resources and their experience. The best advice I could give to someone who's looking to get into this business is, number one, to partner with a great company who can support them all the way through, a company like NCS. At the end of the day, we're dealing with customers. Serving a different product, but we're dealing with customers. As long as you take care of that customer and you do the right thing and you give them a good product, you're going to be successful.
Hello, I'm Darren Capangi, and I am here today with Drew Cunningham from TSS, and we're going to talk about the importance of marketing and menu building at your wash. So Drew, why don't you tell us a little bit about what marketing and menu building means at TSS?
We think the marketing and menu building that we find here is being able to brand all their marketing throughout the wash, on their menus, help drive in more revenue for the customer, help make more brand awareness. So that's what we do when we work with them direct.
That's great. And I assume, this is site to site specific, and what is, one of the important things, when customers are driving up to the wash?
Well, we think that the brand marketing obviously is most important. It is individual washes. Each one wants to brand their own. There we want to make sure it's very clear for each customer to know exact flow of the system, which way to come in easily, which ways to vacuums, which way to the staging areas and marketing zones, and give them a great customer experience with a great wash. One of the newest things that have come out that have really changed in the industry and get a little bit was this bay lighting Um, Bay lighting used to be just out there, all our natural colors, red, blues, greens. But now we've actually been able to get these into controllers where you can actually, the wash operators can change themselves, the color combinations, and offer a lot more better package of color choices, but experience for the customer. We've seen with the customer experience lately, even just with lights, 30% increase in revenue by offering these LED light shows to their wash packages.
Well, that's amazing. And I know, like my kids, they love, driving around. They say, hey, let's go to the wash. And whenever there's a light show, it makes them want to go back more. So tell me how that has increased customer loyalty.
Well, as you said, there is more of the kids enjoy it, more of an experience. Before, everyone used to just go through the wash. You had your 3-4 minutes that you sat through it. Now with vehicles offering more window space, more full moon operations through the ceiling, giving them an experience that they don't get anywhere else will drive them constantly back in. Sometimes it can be a ritual every Friday night. A lot of wash operators are offering special nights sometimes that are offering family packages of disco nights. There's Halloween themes going on right now. And obviously the Christmas coming up is another one that you can really make a great light show experience for the holiday.
That's great. And the customers or the operators can fully customize the light show, right?
Fully customizable. We work with them on it and build it correct. We've even had some that we've done that they've wanted to their local football team for Friday night games or Saturday games. They're able to set the colors up just that in their town, just to represent the colors of their team.
That's great. That's cool. Very cool. You want to go on to the next one? Is there anything else about lighting you think is important to cover?
No, I think that this is just an opportunity everybody needs to be on as this trend is going, and that we definitely are the ones that can help build that and get that revenue for them. Next zone that we have here, taking some of the data that we've come up with and throughout the washes, we have these hot zones, we call them marketing zones. These are all key spots that you need to make sure you're marketing correctly and the right information to help drive business in and drive your revenue.
Wonderful. So talk to me a little bit about, some of these different.
So in the different zones that we've come up with, when we talk to consumers wanted to make sure that they can make the right, the wash has to have the right impression for them coming in. It has to be very flow easily with the pull in, where to enter, where to exit, where to go this way for directional, if it's to the vacuums first, or if it's to get in line, going up to the pay station. So each zone has been broken down to help that and give them, we have our welcome zone, then we have our zone 2, which we call more as our education. This is an area that gives them more opportunity to give them knowledge about wash packages, especially now as we're seeing a lot more certain products are being used more. This is a great staging area to set that, get the customer prepared before they make the decision stage.
I guess that's also a great opportunity to help sell the monthly packages as well, right?
Perfect example of monthly packages, right? Showing the opportunity for them so that way before they get up to that pay station, they've made a choice and saw the menu ahead, saw these packages, and that's the one they want to choose. Zone 3 then becomes the decision one. That's where they're up at the pay station, either greeted or at the POS. At that point, the menu again is reflected there. Select what package they wanted to pick or membership join. Then when we go into confirm zone, this is the customer always wants to make sure they're receiving that correct package. So it's a great opportunity that the wash operator has, letting them know as they're pulling in, they did receive this package. Get ready for the experience that they're about to go into, and then they know that they're receiving the correct package through the wash.
That's great. And that confirmation zone can happen at the beginning of the wash or throughout the tunnel experience. Is that correct?
Correct. You'll find that you'll do a lot of times is the packages of what selected to wash, if it's a limited members, if it's a particular package. And then as they go through the tunnel, there's a lot of confirmation signs that when you're applying, if it's a certain chemical, if you're getting a certain experience, that they can have in there that also notifies unless that customer confirms it.
Wonderful. And I guess that integrates into Zone 5, which is the experience zone, right?
Zone 5 is correct, is the experience zone. And this is really where the customer gets the wow from. Sitting back for that 3-4 minutes that they're going through, having a chance to have all different color lights, having themed lights that are all working together, having soaps that are coming down and sprays from the manifolds, that gives them a truly overall experience as they go through it.
That's great. And what about the importance of the exit zone?
At the exit zone, again, is where it's clear again for them to visually see again. It's a great opportunity that they can actually visually, again, remind them that there is some more promotions for monthly packages, holiday gift cards coming up, or anything like that. Also could give them easily direction to know which way to go if they want to go from that place to another vacuum exit, or if they're going to be leaving for the day and it's a simple thank you.
Oh, that's great. So I would assume, and I know you're going to talk about vacuums next, but thinking about the monthly packages and the importance of trying to push the monthlies, I mean, which zones are good for monthly memberships? I mean, we talked about the education zone. Is it also, a good idea in the decision zone and the exit zone and the vacuum zone? I mean, where are all the different places that you should be trying to push your monthly memberships?
I think that definitely the education zone is, that area you really can have prepped and ready that's showing monthly memberships and the benefits of it. Again, I think you can even put it again when you have your confirmation at that entrance coming in. If there was a membership package they received, but this one didn't light up, it gives them a knowledge that, hey, they're receiving that. Everyone likes to feel special as a consumer when they're getting the correct package and being known that they're getting it. So putting that out there so the cars behind are seeing it, that, oh, this customer just picked up that. Maybe that's something I need to look at. The exit zone is another perfect example regarding that. And again, as you said, vacuum zones. Anytime you can have more promotional out there, it can never hurt to drive up that membership.
That's great. And what other kind of promotions or marketing do you see in the vacuum zone? Sorry, I kind of skipped over that one because I was excited about the monthlies.
We're starting to see even also in the vacuum zones, even if you have 20 vacuum lanes and you divide 5 of them direct for membership only, it's an attraction that draws people. Oh, those are memberships. They get something special. Having those promotions then out there from it, if it's hanging on the beams, if it's hanging off of the garbage cans with any promotion, just letting them know. Everyone should be updating and changing their promotions and marketing and pushing for it all the time. And as you come into different seasons, as we're coming obviously into the holiday season coming up next. So that's another great time to start promoting gift cards or buying your family monthly memberships for.
So talk to me about the importance of optimizing the top package.
So here you can see on these 2 packages we have for Menu A and Menu B, one of the ways to help optimize and getting that to draw them to the top package is you look at Menu A, that top package, the design, the royal with the dragon, having the pricing up there, having the icons bright, it's big. That drives people because it looks like that's the one I want. It's the package that stands out. And that's what we look for when we're trying to optimize the top packages, drive that up for more revenue. Same even with Menu B with JJ's. Again, the menu, little top package is larger, jumps out more, it shows everything's included, gives a little bit more of a draw that customers look to and their eyes go up to as well.
That's great. Any other things about the optimizing the top package? I mean, I think it really speaks for itself. I mean, they're very visually stimulating, and when I was looking at both these, I mean, I was drawn to the top line as well.
It definitely, as you see, it shows more. You don't want to make it where it's too crowded or too much for them to read out there. You want to make it very clear to it. You want to see, obviously, icons are becoming very big now. But we still do see, as you can see on the Menu B, there's a lot of times the writing, the writing is smaller, but icons are driving more people to the icons that represent exactly what they're getting through it. And it's a great way in the wash then to use that icon as a confirmation of what they're receiving as they go through the tunnel.
That's great. So icons and your larger packages, use the sizing, the coloring. That's great. Wonderful.
Here we also have some monthly members menus here that you can kind of see too, as we're seeing. Obviously, you want to draw more people to get them growing the monthly memberships. In this case, on menu A, putting that membership up top, above the top package, shows them the value of it compared to what the top package is. So it's a draw for them to see. And as you can see here, obviously the menus get smaller as they go down. Obviously, the larger it is, the bigger it is, the more people are excited and more to pick that choice of the top one.
Yeah, that's great. When I'm looking at menu A, I am just drawn to the unlimited club. And in menu B, it's there, but I'm drawn to the almighty $20. Initially I have to look down a little bit to see the unlimited watch club, which is still there and it's prominent. But when menu A, it's just like, that's basically, what you're immediately drawn to.
Correct. And you look at the value of that and say, you know what, I can do it once or I can get it more, and that's where they look and join. And then having a great greeter that's there that helps them sign up and explain, it makes a big impact with it. But including, I think, the unlimited packages on these, as you can see, are definitely an advantage.
Absolutely. Yeah. Any opportunity to push the monthlies should be taken, right?
Anytime you can grow that car count, correct.
Yeah.
Drives up more revenue. Here's another menu that was done that shows offering the LED show. As you can see on this is the Steady D's. I really like the way this top show sells LED show like you've never seen before. Has it pointing to the ultimate package, which is up top. Also has the unlimited on there. Great attraction that draws people because, again, as we talked about, everybody wants to have that experience. And as you pulled up, knowing that you could get this experience with an LED light show, this is a great way to promote it and drive more volume, more business in, and more revenue.
Yeah, makes it fun for the whole family, right?
Correct. The kids, every time the kids are in the car with you, you know which package they're going to want to go for.
Yeah. But I think, the important thing is like conveying the experience on the menu is another strategy to help drive revenue, right?
Correct. Yeah, exactly it.
Great.
So with all these, we work together with the designer, works directly with the wash operator or their marketing, and build these packages to give our experience and what we suggest to them to help drive more revenue.
Which, is what the ultimate goal is, right?
Correct.
Great.
Ultimate goal is to get that, drive more revenue, get what you return on their investment back.
Yeah, and I think, another great thing that I like about this one, it keeps it like very simple. The unlimited really jumps out at you there just as much as the individual wash package. I think that's a really, nice, clean design with the icons that you mentioned as well.
I do too with this. And I think on this one that I really like is you do the light show, you pull up the first time and you do it for the one. You'll remember that was a pretty cool experience that you got through it. Please, that limited next time you're coming through, you're definitely going to be joining for that. And then obviously the industry as it's changed and more technology is coming is digital menus. They're a great way to market and advertise. Not only one for package upselling, it's getting customer engagement, grows your sales, but for the consumer coming up, they're able to actually see partially the wash, video of the wash or the car going through it at this package and say, that's the package I want to pick from that. That can be played over and over. Quickly can be changed if you're running specials all the time, if you're going to raise or increase prices, if you're going to be closing down due to holidays, due to weather. Digital menu is a quick way to change any of your menus and also promote easily throughout the wash. One of the staging area in the beginning which is that education area. And two, the next part of it's a great promotional push is in the drying area. That's the next visual that they can see is the way to get the finish in the drying. Simply two, even here is a simple thank you that comes across on it and put on there. So there's a lot more that you can do with these digital menus, which really help drive promotional and marketing growth.
Yeah, and it's the ultimate flexibility. While they may, be more expensive up front, in the long run, with the full customizability, you can, edit it every day if you wanted to. If you had something special going on Tuesday or Veteran Wednesday, it's just full customizable, which is, it pays for itself. And I think one of the things that stuck out to me on this one that I didn't notice in the others, I love how that top package says best value, includes everything we offer. I think, that's a, nice message to send to people, because when they see that, they're like, oh, this is the best value. So, that's going to drive them to that top package.
Correct. Putting it on there and then playing it in the background, the animation that can be played here is actually showing part of that wash car going through it. So it's a great drive for that. And you're 100% correct. Being able to change these, it's almost having your own library of marketing ready at your hands. Anytime you can be ready to switch or play to drive more business in, selling more gift cards, or just promoting different things at the time of the seasons.
Yeah, or if you're doing some work with some local charities, if you wanted to help promote that, or if you mentioned, the Friday night football game, promoting the local sports teams. I mean, there's just so many different, the possibilities are endless with the digital menus.
Yes, we have found here that in obviously in TV ads, we see all the time commercials. People are always attracted to commercials. There's a ton of infomercials out there selling products for relaying. We looked at also, you see all the big chains have menus that they're constantly changing. You're not going to go to a place that has the same picture all the time. If it changes, it looks more entertaining, more attractive. It's the same ability that you're able to do with the digital menu, where people are instant to watch a change in digital menu than they are static.
Pleasure. Well, wow, you gave us a lot of great things to think about when it comes to marketing and menu building. Any final thoughts or words of advice?
Now, we just look forward to working with everybody individually on their washes and with their branding, helping them get the most optimizing and growth they can and the best customer experience out there.
That's great. Thanks so much, Drew.
Thank you.
Hi, today I'm going to talk about license plate recognition and the impact on the industry now and in the future. License plate recognition has become a very big topic. It's having a very big impact, and we're seeing most new washes that are out there are obviously going with license plate recognition. I work for Washify, full disclosure, and we sell license plate recognition systems, but I'm going to go at this from an objective point of view and hopefully inform you about what it can do and the possibilities. People say, what took so long? Why is it so late to come to the car wash market? And I think there's a couple of reasons for that. Processor speeds. So it wasn't fast enough on most computers to make it happen at an accurate read rate. There are people who are out there offering license plate recognition solutions, but before a couple of years ago, they were really only at 85% read rates, which for most people just wasn't acceptable. And then the graphical processing cards. These are what really makes what you see on your monitor great or not so great. And back in '96, me playing Doom then, I had to use my mind's eye to really make these characters stand out. Today, the shadowing, the angles, the movement is far ahead. That's a lot thanks to the technology. It's also due in part to software algorithms. They're just better at composing images. Into a little bit more, the areas of impact for car washing are going to be obviously memberships, right? Loyalty programs. But then there's an element of personalization too. You can know who they are. Not just club members. You can know everybody that comes on the property. And then marketing data. How does this feed into marketing data, and how can it help you better approach or bring offers to a certain customer or not? And then pandemic. How is license plate recognition being affected during the pandemic? How's it impacting washes? And then how does it work with mobile apps? You've got an app, you've got a camera, and you've got a kiosk. How could those three things come together to make your wash not only more automated, but really enhance the person's experience? And then gateless systems. We'll go into that a little bit when I talk about future impacts. But let's first tackle memberships. RFID stickers. If some of you have been running programs, you know they're not permanent. Somebody's windshield can get cracked and they replace it. Somebody can get a new vehicle, return a vehicle from a lease, move out of town. And also we had a customer recently who switched over to license plate recognition, and it was more of a cautionary tale. We had a customer who looked up and they had washed 119 times over, I think, a 10-month period. And it wasn't all one vehicle. They had taken the tag and had decided that their neighbors should be able to wash their car and their family members should be able to wash the car with one single RFID tag. And they were only stopped because the license plate recognition was put in place. And this also ties into the last story. Who are you trusting to apply these tags? I mean, handed out just like stickers, they're gonna not get peeled off and applied. They're gonna get passed around. So, and we've seen that. So, a lot of people have their staff apply the sticker. That's obviously you're getting labor involved there. So this also eliminates the labor if you're just looking at the plate. And we've seen a growing number of windshields that just have a certain spot where the sticker needs to go. A lot of customers aren't keen to have a sticker in their windshield if they had a choice.
And the license plate recognition can be particularly advantageous for in-bays where putting a sticker on is probably not optimal. It can lead to faster signups. Personalization and marketing purposes. So this can inform your cashier or your kiosk, meaning tell them how many times somebody's been there, what they've been paying for in the past. And this doesn't just go for club memberships. So this can put them in a position, or put your kiosk in a position, to upsell people, to offer things that maybe they've had before to get that average ticket up there. Or maybe not offer them certain things if they have a certain kind of package. Informing your marketing is a huge piece of this. And what I mean by that is if you can run reports out of your system of who's been in, who hasn't been in, and then target them. So again, we're not just talking about
run a report of club members that haven't been in 30 days and try to get them to come in, because you know that people going over 30 days without using the club program are going to churn out at a high rate. Talking about approaching people who maybe haven't been to the wash in a month. And we're not just talking about those people who are club members, right? We'll get into that a little bit more. You can also track points for folks. So even if they're not on the points program, you can start banking points for them. And you can offer to help them unleash those points by them simply downloading the app that you offer them at your wash. So they can put in their license plate number, and the app is now tied to their license plate, which then pulls in their points. So imagine this. You're somebody who pulls up. It says, do you want to download the app on the screen? You download the app for the wash. You put in your plate. You start banking points, and you're in a almost virtual club program, and you didn't even know it. So these are great opportunities. This technology is leading to great opportunities to engage with people who maybe don't want a certain level of financial commitment, but want a incentive. Pandemic's changed a lot of behavior. I mean, we all go out now, see people in masks, and we don't think it's weird. Beyond what we perceive as weird or not, we're avoiding certain types of interactions. I don't think anybody's putting their hand out for handshakes too much, especially with people they don't know. And they're favoring a little bit of distance, right? So we don't really see this happening at any wash right now. And what we are seeing happen is people want to buy more. They're buying it more without getting the staff involved. They're buying through the app. They're buying through a website. And when you tie the license plate together with that, it has a tremendous capability to increase throughput at your wash. Because what you can do is have it so they never even have to roll down the window. The idea is they buy on the app, they put their license plate in, and when they show up at your wash, they can be recognized. Now, different systems have different ways of doing that, but it's a great way. It's sad to say that we're seeing cases spike up in certain parts of the country right now. Not a good thing at all, and so that's going to cause more people to be a bit more cautious. You can help them feel like they're keeping safe, then that's a great thing for your wash. The impact in the future is going to be big. So we have it where you could scan every plate, put essentially, not just us, anybody, you could put a plate out there, and there are companies doing it out there for security for neighborhoods. One's called Flocker. The idea being that you put cameras out there in your neighborhood, and they record every vehicle coming and going. Pretty intense. Now this is a little bit different because people are coming on your property and you want to have them, let's say, pre-set up to make transaction happen. So once they enter the property, you scan their plate. No need to wait for them to go to the kiosk or to the POS terminal, and they're already there. All you have to do is just when they approach the kiosk or the POS terminal, it'll load their record right on the screen, and the attendant or the kiosk can take it from there. Also, you can go without gates. There are some companies that go without gates. Probably the most successful franchise of all time is one that goes without gates, and they don't seem to have too much trouble with it. By having a camera read at the entrance of the tunnel and then at the kiosks as well, you're able to restack everybody regardless of what order they go in. So if somebody's in your queue and has to get out of line to take a phone call, very easy for the restack to happen with the camera at the entrance of the tunnel. And another way that we've seen out there are companies that will take the data and tie it back to VIN information, and from there look to get addresses. We don't do that in my company, but there are some companies that are doing that, and that's another way of targeting. So that's going to the next level. I can't vouch for any of those companies doing it, but that is absolutely happening. What's the difference in the offerings that you see out there? Well, some process the image on the camera, some process the image, meaning figure out what the image is as for a license plate. Some process it on the kiosk. Some cameras can be located in the front, some cameras can be located in the back. There's some states that only require a back plate. Some states require a front and back plate. We just at our company place the cameras in the back mostly. We've had a couple folks place it in the front. And generally with everybody, you're going to want to get the camera at an angle where it can see. So for some customers, if they don't have enough of a area there, it can be a little bit tough. You need about 18, 25 feet back from the center of the kiosk and over to the side a little bit so it can read the cars as they come into the turn. There's some variation that I think all of the providers can give you there. We have people putting it on different level arches to get the best angle. We even have people who are doing an arch over several different lanes. We have one doing it over 4 lanes. So that's a very big implementation, very big arch. And then speed. So I think most are down sub 3 seconds to process. And accuracy rates are different by provider. And then we are, once it reads once, it's going to be 5 nines, meaning like a fingerprint. If it reads once and there's no obstruction, it's going to read 99.999% of the time accuracy on that. Challenges of different offerings out there. Just be where you're placing the cameras. These cameras can be in some cases expensive items. They're not like your normal security camera, although you can tie the photos into your POS in most cases to get images of a vehicle and attach it to the transaction. I want to thank you for taking the time, and please reach out if you have any questions.
So site selection, we're looking at a raw piece of ground. It could be an existing wash that you're gonna, refresh and renew and bring back to life. So it would apply to both, but I'm just gonna speak to ground up construction so that I can narrow my focus. So you'll see the two boxes there, property size and type, or return on investment, flagship, and proximity. So there's a limiting factor. If you found the right piece of dirt, that property size is going to dictate what you can put on that location. Down below that, there's a picture. And let's just pretend this was your site. It's a great property, corner, low competition, all the good factors, but you're not going to put a 180-foot tunnel on this site. It can't happen. So if you were looking for a flagship, to really put a stake in the ground, now that's going to limit the properties you can look at. You have to look at larger pieces, less demands from the city for detention and retention, landscaping, easements. So really our recommendation to people is going with fairly open mind, a few options, and when you find the right one that fits enough of those two boxes together, then you've got a good foundational specification list met. And you can see over to the left, you've probably been reading them while I've been talking. Those are some of the key indicators that we're looking for. Triangular properties, odd shaped properties that you can't use the entire thing. So size and shape matters. The type of area you're in, the type of business that's being done there, the population, all of these we'll get into and break down a little bit more. And one of the questions was about, total investment, 3 to 5 million. Does that include the cost of the property? It depends what part of the country you're in. I'll pick on Oklahoma. I don't know if anybody's from there. In Oklahoma, an acre of ground, you may be able to pick up a good acre of ground for 500,000. In Colorado, where I'm at, that is going to be 1 to 2 million. And on the East Coast, it's probably very similar. So these are national budgetary type numbers. 3 to 5 million it is realistic, but you want to dig in deeper, specific to your area, with one of us after offline to dive into that.
Yeah, so on the graphic, just make sure everyone understands what's going on there. The two pay stations, you're saying that they're 100 cars per hour, right? So basically 50 cars per hour for every pay station. Is that accurate?
Yeah, so we're going to dig into this, but one of the limiting factors, I'm sorry, the limiting factor of your site is your lowest common denominator. So at this location, we have two pay stations, about 100-foot, maybe that's a 90-foot tunnel, and what do we got, 13 vacuums. So each one of those has a relative amount of cars that they can process. And you can see in this one, the pay stations are the most limiting. So it doesn't matter how long your tunnel is, you're never going to get more than what can go through those pay stations. If you had half the number of vacuums as shown here, let's say there was an easement across the top of that picture, and so you couldn't put those vacs there, then you're going to be at 60 cars per hour. And that's going to be your limiting factor. So when we're designing a site with you, we're taking into account all the different variables to maximize the revenue from the volume and the marketing package to your ticket average to come up with the best return on investment or profitability of the site. So it's not a one size fits all. We have to maneuver into the right package. So what we do, we have a couple different guides, if you will, financial guides. And what I'm about to show you is our much more involved, detailed, specific report. We also have a basic report that we basically give out to anyone. And you can go through and get a general idea on a piece of property. And this one is much more, it's called Inside Analytics, and it's specific to the property you're looking at. And it's for people who are committed with us and moving forward and really want to dive into some of the financials. So we look at a piece of property, your property, and we dig into all the different factors to come up with this, first view here, the dashboard, kind of giving you a scoring of the site. It's almost 50 pages of tons of data, but it starts off with the dashboard, just to give you a visual reference. We also dig into the numbers. So I know it's kind of small on the screen, so I'll just give you an overview of what these pages show. On the left side is your capital expenditure projection. So you're talking 3 to 5 million. Well, we break it down. The very top line is your land cost, and then building and construction, equipment. And we go through each one of the categories to come up with your total cost and break it out in this pie chart so you can visualize it. And then we go through the financing, interest rate, loans, and there was a question about which bank do I use? My recommendation, and Jim, Steve, you guys may have additional, is I always say start with your current bank because they know you the best. They may not be the ones that you end up going with. There's lots of banks out there. We have a couple that we can recommend more on a national level, but start with your local bank because they're gonna walk through the process with you and help you understand what they're looking for. You know, are they gonna require 20% equity? Pretty typical. So on a $5 million project, you're gonna be looking at putting in $1 million equity into getting a commercial loan. If you go SBA, which some banks offer, you can get down to 10%. Kind of gone are the days of 0%. You really got to go out to private money to find that, and then it gets more expensive. Instead of paying 4.5% interest, you get up into the double digits. So on the right side, we show annual summary data, and up top is a conservative look. The middle is expected, and the bottom is aggressive. So this is the very summarized data to show volumes, profits, expenses, return on investment. So it's kind of the beginning and the end of the report right here. And most important to you is return on investment, or at least it should be. Unless you're in it for the fellowship, which we're good for that too. Projecting out the conservative, expected, and aggressive, it's because nobody has a pure crystal ball. Whatever existing business you're in now, I would say, tell me what your revenues, expenses, and profits were for the last 5 years, and tell me what it's going to be next year. And you probably could get pretty close. But if we were going to bet $10,000 to be within 5%, you would probably hesitate. So everything needs to take into account risk. And that's what we're doing here is we're showing the potential risk of a site, as well as the potential outperform either direction off of the expected. Here you're looking at P&Ls. So this is 3 years of broken down profit and loss statement with all your categories listed out, from hiring expenses to uniforms, utilities, and it really breaks down the numbers, and the banks love to see this for underwriting. All this data is in there so they can chew through it and really feel confident in putting together a loan package. So very helpful on the bank side, which is number 3 right there on the list. You know, so a catalyst is something that makes a reaction happen faster. So if you're looking at a single site and you want to do, you know, strength, weakness, opportunity, threat, or financial analysis on it, if you're comparing different investment opportunities, maybe you have 2 sites, or you have a storage facility or a residential opportunity and a car wash opportunity. So it's really good to look at your cap rates, as well as cash on cash return on investment and straight line return on investment. And then I already spoke about loan approval. Jim, do you have any that you wanted to add in on that?
Well, one of the things I wanted to ask you, Shane, is because you helped develop Insight Analytics, and you also own a few express washes with your brother yourself. Have you all the statistics and all the numbers look great, and I would have loved to have had this when I started my washes, because I think it's a great tool, and basically it gives me a business plan to present to a bank or any type of investor group. But have you reversed engineered this with other sites to kind of vet out the data that we pull and the accuracy of it as you started to develop Insight Analytics?
Yeah, that's where a lot of the learning curve came from. So this has been 15 years in development. It's been utilized that entire time, but over those 15 years has gotten more complex, but also more, I hate to use the word accurate, but more reflective of reality. Accuracy implies like we're going to nail it down to the dollar, but true to life, yes. So last year we went through a learning curve, and it was built into the model, and it came from me working with one of our NCS people, and they were assisting a customer from Wisconsin who was building a site in the South. And we went back and forth about tunnel length, because they said, the tunnel has to be 140 feet or you're not going to be able to process the amount of cars that the site's going to generate. And I said, no, there's no way. I mean, I have sites shorter than that doing this. We went back and forth and almost went to fisticuffs, right? What turns out in the northern climates, and this was after weeks, they actually flew to Denver. We sat down, broke it all out. In the northern climates, there are fewer washing days. You have more cloudy, more snow days than you do in the South. So you have to be able to put through higher volumes in the fewer days of the year in order to generate the end result the same. And so it requires a longer tunnel, bigger property, more vacuums. And that was an epiphany to help us continue to dial this in. And yeah, we do go back and lay it over existing washes with customers. We have customers that have used this for over 12 years repeatedly as they continue to build more sites. And it just becomes a staple for them. I'm doing another site, I need to get my analysis, I'm going to the bank. Put it together, and the proof is really in the numbers, because when you get that report and you break down the numbers, you can, any savvy investor can sniff out where there's something that's not right. And we do these for very experienced operators who've been very successful. And So yeah, there's a high level of confidence in this analysis. So thanks for that, Jim. We look at a lot of variables. I kind of mixed them up just for our graphic here and just kind of put them out. Some of the variables are independent and some of them are dependent. So an example of that would be traffic quality and traffic quantity. Everybody in the industry uses traffic quantity. We take that and go a step further and say, well, if you put your car wash on a highway and there are 100,000 cars going by a year, you're not going to wash any of them because nobody's getting off a highway at 80 miles an hour to wash their car. So your quality is so low, you're not going to get any. Well, that's true in every sense of it. So we look at all of these variables, and we can go to the next one. In that is retail draw. Retail draw is very important. That is the surrounding businesses. So if you're going to go into a development with, there's a great example right here. Thank you. So we've got site A and site B. Both of them are on the street with 33,000 cars per day, right? But quickly, I think everyone right here would say, I would choose site A, and not just because it's first on the list. We have McDonald's, Lowe's, Walmart, Starbucks. More of those 33,000 cars each day are going to pull off into that development to make purchases and have a break in their schedule than what's going to pull off into site B. When they're going by site B, they have to make the conscious decision, I want a car wash. When they're in Walmart and they come out with, you know, the items from the store, they have a break in their schedule. They're already spending money. They're at a slower speed, 5 miles an hour through the parking lot. So retail draw has a big effect on the quality of our traffic and how much we account for that. You can see here the draw radius and the draw frequency. So across the top is how far out these businesses draw. And at the bottom is the frequency, so how often. And they're really divergent lines. Starbucks is going to pull in, locals, McDonald's, Taco Bell there. You get some people that are driving by and just grabbing lunch. But Costco is going to pull regularly from a large radius, 20 miles, 30 miles in some areas, and you will get those customers to see your facility and potentially buy a wash. So having a good, strong mix of those is the best. Grocery stores are kind of in the middle where you may go there once a week or you may go 2 to 3 times depending upon the week. So these are accounted for in our analysis. Tunnel length, vacuum quantity, and pay stations, they're low on my graphic, but they're actually very important. They're critical variables. And we looked at them on that picture where we had 100 cars per hour, 140, and 120. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Darren. Now, if you are using license plate technology and a lot of membership-driven programs, you're going to increase your cars per hour through those pay stations, and you'll match your 140 cars per hour through the tunnel. So then we want to look at vacuum spaces and can we squeeze 1 or 2 more on there and get them all to match? That would be ideal, right? So if your site is at such a good location that you could wash 300,000 cars per year as an express, which is a lot. That's a high number, but it's done many times over those type of volumes. Or you're an average site of 150,000 cars per year, but your location can only throughput 100,000. Does that make it a bad choice to go there? I would say no. I would say you're going to maximize that property. You're going to maximize your return on investment. You're going to get every ounce of that investment out. Now, if there's a bigger property that could accommodate more, maybe it's something we look at. So it's not always a negative. Competition, management, and marketing, those really tie in. Competition is really important segment. So we'll go in and look heavily at the competition. The management training and style ties in with your marketing, which is really dependent variables with competition. So we can go to the next one. So we get in and we look at the sites around your wash. We dig in to what they're offering, reviews, price points, really understand the competition, and go to the next one. So this is a little closer in on a city. So each of these colors, red is for automatics, blue is for self-serve, green is for express tunnels, and it doesn't look like there's a lot of purple, which are full serve. And I think I have the convenience stores turned off on this one, which are typically yellow pins. So we'll get into, the 1, 2, 3 mile radius, really look at that competition and break that down.
You guys are pulling in data from all the other ones, from places that have similar demographic profiles and similar traffic count profiles and retail profiles. And, you're pulling that from all these different places to get your numbers. Is that correct?
No, we don't pull it from all of them. Because, Darren, when you open your express wash, if you want to share that data with me, then I will happily, reciprocate on feedback, input, helping things grow for your site. But some people feel very secure, or they want to be very secure about their data. Fear of competition, somebody finding out that they don't want to know, what their volumes are. So we would never go in and take that data. That would be a, privacy issue. So all of the data is voluntarily given, and we have, thousands of operators out there. So there's a lot of it. I don't know how I could crunch all that data even if we had it all.
Yeah, and to Shane's point, I think he said earlier, Darren, is that, with this 50-page report, it's a pretty deep dive. It's not a half an hour on a Google search looking at competitors, but each one of us that have done these inside analytics, we do a market ride. We actually go to the sites and see the type of operation that they're doing. We can really gauge it. I mean, into what this next slide is, it shows exactly some of the stuff that we see when we do a market ride. And when a new investor comes to us and says, geez, there's 5 car washes in the market. Well, if they all have signage and marketing that looks like this, and you're going to be the brand new shiny penny in the pocket, people are going to be more attracted to utilize your wash, and it's going to slowly put these old dogs out of business. And that's the deep dive that we really do. This isn't something that gets pencil whipped, and there's a lot of effort and time that goes into on any of the NCS professionals that work with inside analytics, that goes into making that report to make the investment make sense.
Yeah, and this is unique in the industry. There's nobody else that has this level of deep dive, as Jim says. We have a pencil whip one too, and that was one that was has come up over the years, and every manufacturer has them. They're freely available, but they're really worth what you put into it.
That's right.
You can't expect a highly intelligent report full of data that you're happy to put in front of a review board at the bank or investors and with confidence from something that's put together in 45 minutes over the phone. Yeah, so that we have that. If you're just looking at a bunch of sites and you want to go through them real quick and just feel it out, then yeah, that is a good tool. But when you're serious and you're getting ready to make that move, then engaging us at that level, which is really a supply agreement. There's a deposit that goes in, and that includes, you know, drawings for the site, drawings for your equipment, the layouts, everything that the architects and engineers are going to need, and it's an agreement to work together, you know, going forward. So it's valuable, it's worth it, and for that reason, you know, we want to do it with people that are going to work with us. So here's the flip side to that. That last marketing, the sign that said, you know, if you see anything wrong here, let us know. You look around, you go, man, everything looks wrong here. These sites are what we want. They are brilliant. They really draw the eye. They pull you in. You know, the truck marketing and the billboard down at the bottom right, the overall site, the vacuums with the lights. Even though you're not open at night, people are driving by and they're looking and saying, what is that building? Oh, it's a car wash. I should go there sometime. They might not go there for 3 or 4 times, but eventually they will. So the vacuums, the lights, number one marketing item for my car washes are those, because, you know, we put them to the street, they're out visible, and it brings people in for the service, but it also brings them in because it attracts the eye. So that's the type of facilities that we are helping you put together. So this was where I was speaking to. We have the classic analysis. That's kind of the, you know, the fast and easy, the full inside analytics. And then, so the full inside analytics you can see is the one in the blue in the middle. So you sign up as a partner moving forward, make that commitment. If you just want a free demographics report and kind of an overall view, really fast and easy, you can actually do that online yourself, and it'll pull down some of the basic really fast. The next step would be the classic and then the full.
So we commonly get asked about mistakes to avoid when designing a central vacuum system for your car wash. So we put together a small video here to take into consideration some of the top 4 items that we generally run into. These are design mistakes that can be easily avoided if you have your vacuum system provider really pay attention to some of these points, and you'll end up with a very well designed system that's going to be a good experience for your customers, and of course a good experience for you as the operator as well.
Common mistakes that we typically run into is first and foremost inadequate power, having too light a suction, not using dual hoses, not using trash bins, and not providing a mat rack for your customers. These accessories are important, and it offers a level of convenience, and it sets your vacuum plaza apart from the competition.
My name is Tom Tucker. I started Vacutech in 1997 in my garage in El Cajon, California. I grew up in the vacuum business. I've been doing it full time since September 1968. This is the only job I've ever had other than 4 years in the Air Force.
Hello, my name is John Simmons. I am the Southeast Director of Sales for Vacutech. I've been with Vacutech for going on 4 years currently, but I've been in the car wash industry for about 30 years total. Have been involved in some other companies regarding POS sales, car wash equipment sales, and vacuum system sales.
Hello, my name is Dan Bopete. I am the Midwest Regional Sales Director for Vacutech, and I have been in this car wash business for about 30 years. A number of different manufacturing companies in tunnel equipment and dryer systems, and now in vacuum systems, and predominantly seen everything in the tunnel business that there is to see.
This is Steve Lineman with Vacutech. I'm responsible for sales and marketing, and will be walking us through a couple of videos today. In this segment, we're going to talk about vacuum systems that are improperly designed and the effects of those design flaws. In this particular situation, we have a busy day on the car wash. We've got 3 users that you can see in this video that are satisfied with their vacuuming experience. The gentleman in the black truck has pulled up. He's pulled the hose, testing the suction, realizes it's not up to his standards. And as you can see, the other users who are perfectly satisfied with the experience they had are now experiencing some performance issues with a lack of suction. And this is one of the byproducts of a poorly designed system that most people don't understand.
Well, the first thing that all customers do, and I've been in this industry a long time, the first thing I do when I pull a vacuum nozzle off of a hanger or pull a crevice tool out of a holder is I put my hand to it and feel the suction. Everybody does that. When you pull that vacuum nozzle or crevice tool off the hanger and you can hear that air rushing in, that's a good sign that you have the proper relationship of airflow and pressure.
One of the misconceptions that we hear often is a simple explanation of how vacuum systems are designed based on number of drops or users to horsepower. Unfortunately, proper vacuum system design is not that easy. There are a multitude of factors that are considered in a properly designed system, including elevation, the total length of piping, the size of the piping, the type of debris that's being introduced into the system, and the maximum number of users on the busiest day. So really important to take those into consideration to ensure that we have a great customer experience. If you're engaged in a conversation with someone who's talking about hose drops or the number of users for a particular horsepower, dig a little deeper, make sure that you get the confidence that they are taking other factors into account and are designing a system around those to ensure the best customer experience.
Before we can determine the horsepower, the size of the filter separator, we need to know how many parking spaces, how many vacuum hoses do you want at each parking space? Do you want a single hose all the way across? Or do you want double hoses, which would be a single on each end and doubles in the middle? That is a very important item that we need to address before we can do much of anything in determining the horsepower, the airflow, or the pressure, is how many hoses are going to be hanging from that vacuum delivery arch, stanchion, or whatever or it could be overhead under a canopy dropping down. Because we have to make sure that we provide enough airflow and pressure to not only handle the people that are vacuuming their car, but the hoses that aren't being used have to have enough pressure to keep them sealed so they don't cavitate or fall off, which depletes the system. And then you have customers that can't actually adequately vacuum their car because of loss of airflow and pressure because the system was never designed properly.
The most important factors of a properly designed system or the byproduct is first and foremost creating a great customer experience that drives those customers back to your site time and time again to improve your revenue. That is our goal. Properly designed system is going to lead to efficiencies as well, that is going to allow customers to get the cleaning of their vehicle done efficiently, allows them to get back on with their day, but then is also allowing space or vacuum spaces that are available for the next customer who may be coming onto the lot.
The more efficient your vacuum system is, and if it's been properly designed and engineered, you're going to find that the vacuum system is going to be probably one of the most talked about areas of your car wash. And I have customers call me all the time and say, and this is how the conversation goes. They say, Tucker, all my customers talk about is your vacuum system. And I ask them, I says, well, is that a problem? And they say, well, obviously, no, it's not a problem. They love the vacuum system. That's one of the things that brings them back.
We're taking into account many factors such as elevation, the total distance of the piping, the pipe size, and obviously the total number of users that we expect to see at the car wash on the busiest day. Here's an example of what we would expect to see in a properly designed system. We have a new user to the system. He's testing the suction. You can see the other users don't even realize that he's begun using the system. He's vacuuming. And the byproduct of this is having a properly designed system results in greater efficiency for the customer. So that not only provides a good customer experience for the people on site, but it also creates efficiency so that you remove the frustration of other customers who may not have a vacuum space available if the users on the system are taking longer than what's actually required with a properly designed system. So you can see this user worked through cleaning his vehicle pretty quickly, and he's going to depart the spot so that another car wash customer can come in and complete the vacuuming of their vehicle.
Now, this mistake is simply having single hoses versus dual hoses on your vacuum spaces. When you only have a single hose, on a busier site, as you'll see with this customer pulling in the white truck, he wants to vacuum his car on the driver's side, of course. The problem is the customer next to him is vacuuming the passenger side of the car and using the hose that's between those two vehicles. Well, what does this do? It doesn't allow him to have a hose. So he's going to awkwardly, at this case, perhaps ask the customer how long they're going to be. That's kind of rude. He's going to look around, see if there's other vacuum spaces he can pull into, which is kind of inconvenient, or maybe just gets frustrated altogether and leaves the property. So it's just a little inconvenient to not have dual hoses. It's very simple to add them. It's very low cost as well. And it just, again, makes it very much a much better experience for the customer to have two hoses. That way they can vacuum their car either side anytime, not have to wait for the customer next to them to free up the hose. Yeah, I think anything that you can give your customer to make it a better experience is just going to be a plus. They're gonna know that. They're gonna not have to look for the competitor that offers a better experience for them.
So we see the customer pull into the parking space. There's dual hoses at the vacuum stall, and he has no need to wait. He can immediately go up to a hose, feel for suction, and get to the task at hand. He's not interrupting the neighbor next to him. It seems to be a pretty busy day, so everybody's going to be in a vacuum stall today, and there's no waiting. As long as you're not waiting, you don't have to. You'll have the ability to get people in and out of the parking space and turn over cars quickly. Another nice thing with dual hoses is, let's say this gentleman brought his son or his daughter with him. He could say, "Hey, Junior, go over to the passenger side, grab a hose, and you do that side, I'll do this side, and we can get to the baseball game quicker." So now you've got two people with the ability to vacuum a car again while not interrupting the neighbor. Another thing that you can do is set these hoses up with the two different tool devices. You could put a claw tool on one hose and a crevice tool on the other. And now you've set yourself apart from your competition because you're offering a tool to clean a different part of the car with more effectiveness. And you want to be able to get into the nooks and crannies with a crevice tool, for instance. Then you want to have the speed of the carpet and the upholstery with a claw. Another thing that you notice is you have a bit of redundancy between cars. Just in case one of the hoses had an issue, there's always another hose there for a customer to use.
Trash receptacles. A lot of customers might ask, why do I have to have so many trash receptacles? Why should I put one on every space that I have available? Well, because people dump a lot of stuff out of their cars. They're coming in there to clean the inside. They need a place to put that trash because they're about ready to vacuum. So in this case here, you're going to see this gentleman get out of the truck. He's got some trash, and he's going to look around for a trash can because, well, he needs to throw it away. What's he going to do? Yeah, he's going to look around, make sure he's looking. He's going to drop it on the ground. What's that do? It promotes a dirty experience for the car wash. Doesn't look good. Employees have to come out and now clean up trash throughout the day. It just goes back to the convenience factor of having these things for your customers, and having a trash can at each space is going to keep them from being overloaded too quickly, rather than having perhaps one way down the row or two, scattered throughout the property. They're going to get filled up real fast, and it's also inconvenient for the customer to have to walk a long distance to throw something away.
So the proper way to set up your vacuum position is with a trash receptacle. And here you'll notice this trash receptacle is attached to the vacuum arch. It's in a convenient location where the customer can see it as he pulls in. And you'll see the first thing he does is grabs a coffee cup and gets rid of everything he's accumulated. And now he can get to the task of vacuuming the vehicle. It's a convenient, necessary component for your vacuum, and again, it promotes a clean environment for the customer. This particular lid from VacuTech is a weighted lid, and without it becoming a frisbee in high wind condition, that weight keeps it placed in its proper orientation on top of the trash liner.
And by having that right underneath the debris separator, which is the canister unit right above there that's collecting all the large debris, this makes it real easy for the attendants who are responsible for cleaning these units to just dump that trash right into the trash can below it, lift that liner right on out, dump it into either another trash can or take it to the trash dumpster, whatever they're doing there. It just makes it a real nice, easy way to collect the trash at the site. Mat racks. Why should I have a mat rack? Not having a mat rack at the site, again, just makes something a little more desirable for the customer to have when they're cleaning the inside of their vehicle. Vacuuming the inside includes floor mats. And not having a rack available to make it easier for them is just going to promote them banging on the pole, like you see this fella here doing, which is going to mar the paint surface over time. It's going to make a mess on the ground as well. It might affect the neighboring customer there. So you want to have a mat rack in place to make it very easy and convenient for the customer to vacuum their floor mats.
Again, much like other accessories that we feel are important, the mat rack makes it a very convenient tool to have for your customers. And it also promotes a quick in and out of the parking space so you can get proper turnover of cars.
And the customer's not putting their mat that they're cleaning, they're trying to clean, they're not putting it on the ground, getting it even dirtier than it was, or sticking it on their hood of their car and perhaps scratching it because they simply just don't want to have to bend down or get on their hands and knees to try to vacuum the mat.
Okay, so this customer pulls into the parking spot and he sees that it's properly set up with a mat rack. And the first thing he does is pull his mat out and he'll clip it to the rack. It's in a sturdy, convenient waist-high position. The tool is close to the rack as well, so you can easily clean the mat and provide a proper cleaning application to that before you get to the carpet on the inside of the vehicle. That stainless steel clip is spring-loaded, very rigid, durable, and it holds the mat in place so you can clean the mat, clean all the debris off the mat.
So mat racks, again, in addition to the other things we talked about, the trash cans, the dual hoses, the proper power, all of this makes your site a much better and more attractive location for customers to visit. It keeps them from having to find someone else that can do something better than you can.
We appreciate you spending some of your time today and allowing us to share some of our insight and experience with you today. We're excited to be able to work with our customers on the design of their systems and creating successful car washes and great customer experience. We're fully staffed with our design, engineering, and manufacturing, installation services to assist our customers. If you have an interest in learning more, you can reach us at vacutechllc.com.
Hi, everyone. My name is Caitlin Higgins. I'm on the marketing team here at NCS. I help support Clean Touch, one of our chemistry brands. And today I'm here to talk to you about something that's really exciting for all of us in the industry, and that is the evolution of how car washes are engaging with customers through a sensory experience utilizing scent, sight, and touch. So today we'll be walking through what that means and what that looks like in this new era of car washing, and the kind of things that you can be incorporating through your chemistry program and your marketing program to help engage the customer throughout the wash cycle and really, gain their loyalty and create an overall really exciting customer experience. So let's get into it. When you create the customer experience utilizing sensory marketing, you're influencing and even persuading the customer's purchase decision. So, thanks to technology in and outside of the car wash industry, we've really had to change the way that we market to customers to keep them engaged, to keep their loyalty, keep them coming back. So, providing a clean, shiny, dry car is great, but that's just not enough anymore. I mean, that's to be expected of anybody going through the car wash. So you really have to go the extra mile and provide that overall experience for the customer, something that they talk about and share with their friends and family. When it comes to site, you want to think about it from the customer's perspective. What are they seeing when they pull into your site? What is the first thing that they are seeing as they pull into the car wash? You want to make an impact right off the bat. And one of the best ways to do that is a really great grand entrance arch. You want to make sure it's illuminated. What's nice about this is it's going to incorporate kind of the best features of your brand. It's going to have your logo right on the top. It'll incorporate your overall branding and the color and the design of the arch. It'll also provide some instructions for the customers to follow. And it's going to highlight the wash package choice that they just purchased. So this is the first thing that they're going to see as they enter your wash, and you want to make sure it's as impactful and informative as possible. As your customer progresses further in the wash, you want to make sure that you're keeping them engaged with a total light show. So that can be accomplished through more illuminated arches, through bay lighting, and also through animated glow fixtures or jackpot signs. This is really their reward for paying and choosing the wash package that they did. They're able to see, oh, I just got the triple foam, or oh, I'm getting that ceramic sealant. I'm getting the tire shine that I paid for. It's their ultimate reward, and it really adds to the perceived value of your car wash. Scent is really closely tied to emotions, and that also influences buying behavior. So you want to make sure that you're providing customers with really fun and pleasing scent throughout the wash experience, something that's enjoyable for them and makes them want to come back. We have products like Amplify that help provide an additional scent boost during designated applications. It not only enhances the overall scent of the base chemical, but it adds an extra foaming capability. So it really provides that extra foam show for the customer. And it helps them to know that they're getting the cleanest car possible. Another great idea involving scent that you can utilize at your car wash is to get branded air fresheners that you can give to your customers. Something that they can really take with them afterwards that helps remind them of their experience with you. All right, the last sensory experience that we're going to talk about today is touch. So as I mentioned at the beginning, customers are already expecting a clean, shiny, dry car. That's just something that they're anticipating when they leave your wash. Something that you can layer on top of that to provide a little extra wow for your customers is the sensory experience of touch. So having options in your chemistry program that provide a just waxed feel to the car, a smooth, shiny finish are really going to enhance that overall shiny, dry quality that they're getting at the end of your car wash. Products like Reflection and Ceramic Punch add super high shine value while also giving kind of a smooth, just wax feel to the car, which is really great for the customer. These super sealants provide a coating that not only looks great and feels great, but it provides extra durability and protection to the finish of your customers' vehicles. And this is something that they're really going to appreciate and something that will keep them coming back time and time again. All right, that's it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed learning how to create a sensory experience at your car wash. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them. Our team members are waiting to answer. Have a great one.
Thanks for joining National Car Wash Solutions webinar today. Please join us again tomorrow for day 2 at 10 a.m. Central. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel below.